Reality TV stars on the wrong side of the law this morning as Maurice Scott from Love and Marriage Huntsville is charged with driving under the influence. Investigators say this happened on Saturday. Well, Scott is now out on a $5,000 bond.
You won't believe how fast things fell apart. Two brothers, a blowout fight, and now they're behind bars. What started as a story of brotherhood, business success, and reality TV fame has now taken a shocking and heartbreaking turn. Marsau and Maurice Scott, once known as one of the tightest duos on Love and Marriage, Huntsville, have gone from being business-savvy siblings to making headlines for all the wrong reasons. And what's even more surprising? It all unfolded so fast, no one saw it coming. These two weren't just brothers, they were also partners in business, co-owners of the popular Black Cigar Lounge, and standout stars on a hit reality show. Their journey was one many admired. They seemed unstoppable. But now, things are completely different. Maurice Scott didn't just appear out of thin air.
I mentioned depression, and people are talking about, oh my God, it's a bad problem running rampant. And here's the reason why it's running rampant, right? It's because we don't know what it really is.
Alongside his brother Marsau, he quickly became a fan favorite on Love and Marriage, Huntsville. The show wasn't just about glitz and glam, it focused on Black entrepreneurs balancing careers, love, and family life. The Scott brothers brought ambition, charisma, and a whole lot of charm to the table. They dreamed big and worked hard, building businesses and putting their families in the spotlight. At first glance, everything looked like it was going great. Their businesses seemed to be thriving, their marriages looked steady, and their brotherly bond felt unbreakable. But viewers who paid close attention may have picked up on signs that things weren't quite as perfect as they appeared.
This has the potential to be destructive, and I don't want Tisha hearing this through someone else. Kids upstairs. He's like, you guys are taking shots on me. Wait. He's like, you're kicking me when I'm down. He said, I had a little infidelity issue. It was one person. Wait.
Okay.
She said it was one person, but I'm not getting on y'all because y'all had like 20 girlfriends.
Who, you? 20 girlfriends? Oh my God. Wait, what did you say?
Well, you know what? My thought was, when he said it, I'm shocked.
Why would you just let him say that though?
Because it's his mouth, he can say whatever he want to say.
Marsau had a more dominant and take-charge personality, while Maurice came off as more thoughtful and reserved. At first, this contrast made them a fun team to watch. But underneath the jokes and light-hearted banter, you could sense there was tension. Small remarks, lingering looks, or quiet disagreements hinted at deeper issues. Most fans chalked it up to typical sibling dynamics, but the truth was far more serious. As time went on, those subtle moments of discomfort became harder to ignore. During interviews and on the show, viewers started noticing the brothers occasionally throwing shady comments at each other. They weren't shouting matches, but there was an undercurrent of sarcasm and bitterness, especially when they talked about business or leadership decisions. Marsau often looked annoyed when things didn't go his way, while Maurice seemed to withdraw more and more. Eventually, some fans began to call out the change in their dynamic. Speculation swirled. Were they disagreeing about money? Business direction? Public image? Then came the whispers from people close to them. According to some sources, the brothers didn't agree on how to grow their businesses. Marsau reportedly wanted to expand aggressively, taking bold risks, while Maurice leaned toward a more careful, calculated approach. This difference in vision apparently caused serious arguments, especially about how they wanted to represent themselves and their brand.
That you guys didn't see. However, in the moment that I acted, I was acting to protect the situation, protect my brother from further harm.
As the tension between Marsau and Maurice grew, it started affecting their families. Their wives Letitia and Kimmy, who were often seen enjoying time together, began to appear less and less in joint scenes. Those fun double dates and family outings became rare. Fans noticed that the once tight-knit families were now spending more time apart, even skipping out on group events. And then came the digital silence. That's when fans really started to worry. Marsau and Maurice stopped tagging each other in posts. No birthday shoutouts, no business collaborations, no brother love content. Not even a simple like on each other's photos. Their online interactions completely disappeared. For a duo who once showcased everything from business ventures to backyard barbecues, that silence spoke volumes. Everything hit the fan at what was supposed to be a classy charity event. You know the type, everyone dressed to impress, sipping drinks, networking, and supporting a good cause. The vibe was supposed to be calm, professional, and celebratory. But instead, the night turned into an absolute disaster. Witnesses say it started as a low-key argument. Marsau and Maurice were seen off to the side, deep in a serious conversation. At first, it looked like a typical disagreement, maybe about business or something minor. But then things escalated quickly. Voices got louder. People started turning their heads. One moment it was a tense discussion, and the next, it turned physical. Someone managed to capture it all on video. In one of the clips that's now gone viral, Marsau can be seen pointing aggressively at Maurice, who appears to be trying to keep things calm.
I've been around Martell and her. I didn't see their interactions. So I didn't see she makes me feel this way or whatever, right? In that situation, I told Martell, bro, this is not it. Going forward, I'm not leaving a party because somebody is cheating. No, I'm not.
So do you come home and then call the person that's getting cheated on?
No, you'll never hear me call somebody and say, hey man, or hey lady, your guy's cheating on you.
I don't disagree. I'm not saying that you would.
Okay.
What I am saying is that you don't sit and be complicit in it as far as finishing out the evening. Because I wouldn't want the person that I'm friends with to think that I think this is okay. Even after the words come out of my mouth, your actions speak louder than words.
I believe that actions speak louder than words as well. And I don't know how many phone calls I've had with Melody and Martell about their situation.
I hear what you're saying, and it doesn't change my opinion.
Yeah, we're at an impasse.
But then bam, it all spiraled out of control. Drinks spilled, tables were knocked over, and the scene turned chaotic. Security rushed in, but the damage was done. The fight had gone public in the worst way. Once that footage hit the internet, there was no going back. Within hours, clips of the fight flooded TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Fans dissected every frame: who pushed who first, what was said, and how it escalated so quickly. Debates blew up in comment sections. Some blamed Marsau, others said Maurice was in the wrong. But the one thing everyone agreed on? This was a major disaster. Just when you thought it couldn't get worse, it did. The next day, news broke that both Marsau and Maurice had been arrested. The charges? Assault and disorderly conduct. And yes, mugshots were released. Suddenly, the two brothers who built a brand around family values and entrepreneurship were being booked into jail. Fans were stunned. "I can't believe this," one person wrote. "They were my favorite part of the show." Others weren't so forgiving, calling it embarrassing and the fall of the Scott legacy. The rest of the Love and Marriage, Huntsville cast mostly stayed quiet. A few dropped some cryptic posts. One shared a Bible verse about keeping your emotions in check. Another wrote, "Peace is stronger than pride." Nothing was said directly, but the message was clear: people were shaken. Letitia and Kimmy didn't make any official statements either. Instead, they went silent. Comments were turned off. Posts were deleted. And their presence on social media nearly vanished overnight. For two women who had always stood by their husbands through the ups, downs, and TV drama, this silence was deafening. As for the brothers themselves, not a word. No statements, no apologies, no explanations. Their Instagram pages? Completely inactive. Even their business accounts stopped posting. For two men who once shared every success and every milestone, this radio silence is almost louder than any fight. So, what really pushed them over the edge? Was it just a bad night? Or was this the result of years of unresolved conflict? According to insiders, it wasn't just about that one argument. Tension had been building for a long time. Maurice reportedly made several business decisions without consulting Marsau, and Marsau felt blindsided. As someone who likes to be in control, Marsau didn't take that lightly. He felt left out and disrespected, especially when it came to their joint real estate projects. Maurice, on the other hand, thought Marsau was being overly emotional and not focusing on the bigger picture. He felt like he was trying to make smart moves for their brand, while Marsau was getting caught up in pride and ego. There were also personal factors in the mix. Fans loved the raw honesty the brothers shared on the show, but that openness came at a price. The pressure of being in the public eye added stress to already fragile relationships. And with the show filming their every move, there was little room to breathe. Some sources even say that jealousy was part of the problem. As Maurice became more popular both in business and with fans, Marsau reportedly felt overshadowed. Maurice's calm, steady demeanor made him relatable to viewers, while Marsau's fiery style sometimes rubbed people the wrong way. Over time, that difference created a growing rift. Marsau, who saw himself as the natural leader, didn't feel like he was getting the respect he deserved. Meanwhile, Maurice felt unsupported, especially when he tried to introduce new ideas or shift the business in a different direction. Their once solid partnership was crumbling under the weight of ego, miscommunication, and conflicting visions. Now that legal charges are on the table, the future is uncertain for both brothers. The fallout could affect everything from their businesses to their roles on the reality show. With assault charges hanging over them, their public image has taken a huge hit. Viewers are already wondering if they'll return to Love and Marriage, Huntsville, or if producers will cut ties to avoid the bad press. Without their dynamic energy, the show could lose a major piece of its magic. Fans have always loved watching the brothers navigate life together even when things got messy. But now, some are questioning whether the damage can be repaired. Some fans are still holding out hope. Maybe, with time, the brothers can work through their issues. Maybe they'll go to therapy, take a break from the spotlight, and come back stronger. But others aren't so sure. The damage looks deep, and trust once broken can be hard to rebuild. But now, some are questioning whether the damage can be repaired. Some fans are still holding out hope. Maybe, with time, the brothers can work through their issues. Maybe they'll go to therapy, take a break from the spotlight, and come back stronger. But others aren't so sure. The damage looks deep, and trust once broken can be hard to rebuild.